Good morning. As you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know you're here so I can see you in the comments. Good morning. Good morning. As you get here, say hello and let me know that you're here as I hit go live in all the places. All right, and now one more thing. All right, perfect. All right, we are here live on Sunday morning, November 10th. Wow. I can't believe we're already on the 10th of the month. Isn't it amazing how it just seems to zip by? We get busy, we're doing things, we're enjoying life, and then we look and like, wow, where did the week go? Where did the days go? And, you know, it's one of the things that we never get back is time, right? And so it's really valuable to start spending as much time doing the things you love as you can and enjoying the people you love, because that second we just talked about is already gone and we can't get it back. And so it's a valuable thing to look at time as our precious commodity, right? And so one of the things to me is that a lot of us start selling our time for money, and we can't get that time back. We can always make more money. And so it's looking at things a little bit differently. And so it's focusing on the value of what we do, the value of who we are. And it's just beautiful to get into that place so that we're not trading time for dollars anymore. We are valuing the time we have here on earth. And for those of us that are a little bit older, time is not as unlimited as it used to feel. The thing is, though, we never know when it's our time to leave the earth, right? So the thing is that value each and every moment that you have right now as if it were your last. So focusing on the beauty of life is so important, right? I'm trying to look and see what's over here. All right, I am going to go ahead and grab this morning's affirmation. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. I did it again. Hold on just a second. Okay, let me copy and paste this again. Hold on. And it's funny because I know which button to push, but for some reason, every now and then, I hit the wrong one. Okay, where are we? There. Wait a minute. What the heck? Just bear with me a moment. All right, copy. All right. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning. All right. That took a minute. I apologize. All right. So here we go. Today's affirmation. I am all about the rainbow vibes. I let the bright side shine and leave the clouds behind. And like I was just talking a moment ago about valuing our time, right? So the thing is that like we can't get that back. So we can focus on the beauty of what's in front of us and the things that we can do, but we're not dwelling on the past and we're not selling our time for dollars. We're valuing our precious time. So to me, like when I was first got up this morning, it was raining, which we need the rain really bad right here, right now, right? And one of the things that popped in my mind is every time if I'm out somewhere, and my daughter and I both do this, if I'm out somewhere and the sun is shining and it starts raining, the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking, where's the rainbow? Where's the rainbow? Where's the rainbow? And we're just focused on the rainbow. And I'll be honest, once my children's father passed away, he was a big one for looking at the sunsets. We all loved looking at the rainbows. One of the things that he used to do that I loved and it drove me crazy at the same time was that we lived probably about a mile and a half from the lake. And so sometimes I would be right in the middle of dinner. He would come home and he would say, "There's the most beautiful sunset. Let's get in the car and go down to the lake and see the sunset over the water." And so when he would do that, I would have to turn everything off. No, I didn't have to, but I wanted to go, right? So I would turn everything off. And so in some ways it aggravated me, right? Again. And then we would go to the lake and there would be the most gorgeous sunset. And just the way it reflected on the water was just amazing, right? And so then we'd go home and I would continue dinner. And so it's like every time we see a rainbow, we're reminded of him and the fact that he saw beauty in the sunset. And we built a house, or he built the house. I helped, but when he designed it on this property, he made sure that the front door, this big porch that we had, faced the sunset, so that we could sit in the evening and watch the sunset over the trees. Beautiful, right? And so this morning, as I got up and I saw the rain and I was thinking of the rainbows, and then I thought, there are a lot of people that maybe have not had that experience where they're with someone who helps them to dive into the beauty of things. And so maybe when it rains, all they're thinking about is that it's raining. So now I can't go for my walk. Oh, it's raining. So now I can't go play golf. Oh, it's raining. So I'll have to have an umbrella when I go to the store. And I've been there before, right? And so what I'm looking at and talking about as I talk about this affirmation and journal prompt this morning is, which are you? Do you focus on the rainbow and the beauty, or do you focus on the rain, the inconvenience? And not that rain is an inconvenience, but sometimes it feels that way. And so instead of us looking for that rainbow, we're talking about how the rain is keeping us from doing something. Now, that's the same as when you're in business and you've got tasks to do. And maybe they're tasks that feel uncomfortable in the moment because you haven't learned all the things you need to learn to accomplish these tasks. And all you keep focusing on is the fact that you don't know how to do the thing, right? Whereas it would benefit us in that moment if we look at the beauty of what will come at the end of that task, the knowledge that we will have gained, the strides toward doing something with our business that we want to do, right? And it's like in relationships, sometimes we get in relationships and over time we start focusing on all the little quirks that they had that brought us to them in the beginning, and they become the things that aggravate the hell out of us, right? And we start focusing on all the things that aggravate us. And so in that instance, it's like Why did I want to be with this person to start with? Start focusing there. Focus on the things that they do that is amazing, right? Like I said, that thing that my husband did, it was amazing, but it also was a thing that aggravated me because it was normally happened at a time that I was really busy fixing dinner or getting the kids ready to go to practice or whatever it was. And so it was a thing that was a gift and a curse at the same time, right? And I will be honest, there were times in our marriage that I was focusing on the curse part of it, right? And instead of the gift of it. And so it's like, where are you right now? Are you all about the rainbow vibes? And remember, anything that comes after the words I am are ultra powerful. I'm all about the rainbow vibes. I let the bright side shine and leave the clouds behind. Any thoughts, Lynn? I don't even know if you're still here. I can't tell. All right. So another thing I want to just share really quick, because I talk all the time about our lens of the world and how we see things. And that's a similar thing with looking at the rainbow or looking at the rain, right? And right now, this is so in my face because I must have touched something. I had breakfast right before I got on here. So I must have touched something and then touched my glasses because I've got this smudge over here, which is skewing my vision just a little bit. So as I'm looking through it, it's actually straining my eye just a touch, but it actually is giving this, when I'm looking at the screen here, it's giving a little bit of a wave that's really not there, right? And so it's a little uncomfortable. And when we're focusing on the rain and not the rainbow, it's the same thing. We're adjusting our lenses and we're trying to get it clearer and clearer, but we're focusing in the wrong place. Well, wrong's not the right word. We're focusing on a place that doesn't serve us. We get to choose which one we want to focus on, right? It's all our choice. Oops, my phone is moving. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share today's journal prompt. Oh, we're moving fast today. All right, today's journal prompt. Think of a recent, let me see. I like this, especially after what I've been going through this last week with my ex-husband's passing. Despite being divorced and essentially estranged for the last year and a half, I can look at the 29 years we were together and the amazing children we raised. Yes, it's all about focus, right? I love that, Lynn. I love that you're able to take that focus and put it on the good parts, right? And sometimes that's a gift in itself, just to be able to focus on those things. All right, so think of a recent challenge. Where's the hidden rainbow? And you just had one, right? You just shared that one, and that's beautiful. I love that. So what little spark of good can you focus on that turns the rain into something bright? So look at the challenges that are coming up after this that you're going through, Lynn, because there'll be challenges. I remember when my children's father passed away, there were so many tasks to go through afterwards with sending the death certificates and canceling things and doing all those things. It can be daunting. And so when you're looking at the things that are coming up, and whether it's a sadness for what's no longer there, because even if you were not still married or anything, there's still that connection, that bond of some kind, right? So look at what little spark of good that's in there can you focus on that turns the rain into something bright? And it could be that you're just a beacon of light for your children, right? And it's interesting. I don't know how old your children are, but I know when my children's father passed away, my daughter was 7 and my son was 16. And one of the things that I used to love to do was ride on motorcycles. I even at one point was going to get my motorcycle license. And that's when I realized I don't really want to do that. I like being on the back of it where I can sightsee. It's less stressful. Somebody that knows this better than I can really navigate, then I'd rather be on the back and just enjoy the process, right? And so I used to love that. And any time I knew of someone who I thought I trusted that had a motorcycle, I would ask, hey, when can we go for a ride? And so I got to go for rides a lot, and I loved it, right? But once my children's father passed away, my ideas changed, because then I thought, if something happened to me, they would have no parent left. And let's face it, people perish in car accidents. The majority of people who are in motorcycle accidents perish, right? Depends on the severity, but it can be very, very bad, right? And which I had never looked at that. And so the more I thought about it, I thought, no matter how much I enjoy it, is it worth that risk? And I decided to not go on motorcycles anymore, because I wanted to make sure that I was there for my kids. And in the beginning, it felt like, I want to go on a motorcycle. I want to go. And then I started thinking, well, what was it that I really enjoyed about being on the motorcycle? It was that it felt freeing. It felt exciting. The wind going by, you're just moving and there's nothing around you. And so then I started thinking, okay, well, how can I recreate that feeling a different way, right? So it was, to me, and it may not sound like it would be the same, but it felt a lot the same, was putting the windows down in the car, going for a ride, right? Going in a convertible. And one of the things that I was really surprised that gave me some of that same feeling was going for a run or going for a walk at a particular time of day where everything was so quiet and so still, and it just felt amazing, right? And so I started discovering ways that I could get that same feeling while honoring the fact that I wanted to be there for my kids, right? And now they're adults, and I get that same feeling from some of these other things. And so it's like I've almost lost the desire to go on the motorcycle. Go figure, right? All right, let's see. I see somebody's made a comment. Good morning, Gabriella. Oh, you're very welcome. I love doing the podcast. I really do. And actually, I have another one that to release today. It's already been put out, but I haven't done my my post or sent out the emails yet. But I love doing that. Our children are 30 and 32. They're taking care of a lot of things, but I'm right there to help and process. A lot of people don't understand why I would take this on, being we were divorced, but it's simply who I am. We're going to have a wonderful celebration. Yes. Well, like I said, even if you were divorced, you've got children together, there's still a bond. There's like this thread that goes from you to him and your kids. It's like you're all tied together. And so why wouldn't you? That's honoring, even if you didn't like him, even if there was so many things about him you did not want to have anything to do with. And I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm just saying that even if that were true, you do that being there for your kids, right? It doesn't matter if they're adults or they're children, right? All right, so I'm going to go back to the affirmation. And remember, put this on your index card, your sticky notes, the screensaver on your phone, put it on the mirror with a chalk marker, put it on a piece of paper, stick it to your fridge, wherever you're going to see it today. And it is, I am all about the rainbow vibes. I let the bright side shine and leave the clouds behind, meaning I focus on the rainbow and not the rain. Let's see. I relish in it. Honoring him and the lives he touched is important to me. His mom, who was 88, is still with us. Beautiful. You know, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter whether you were still had a ring on it, you still were married or not. Like I said, there's a bond there, and a bond with your children. There's things that you do because in some ways you're honoring you, right? And I love that, Lynn. I love that. And you know, when I talk about my children's father, we were actually divorced when he passed. But the interesting thing was, we were divorced for about a year when we had to get together for have a conversation about the kids. So we met one morning for breakfast at the Cracker Barrel. And we were sitting outside waiting for them to call our name, and we were just talking. And something about it started to feel like that connection that we had when we were dating. It was odd, you know. It'd been a year since we had divorced, and some of our divorce time was not so pretty. And so we had breakfast and we were talking about the kids and everything. And then I don't even know, it was like there was this knowing between us that we still had this connection. And so we ended up, after we left the restaurant, having a really long conversation. And I don't even know if it was him or if it was me. It's so vague now that we decided that we were going to meet again to just talk. And we did that, and we did that, and we did that. And finally we were dating, right? But we kept it secret from the kids and his family and everybody, because I told him, I said, I don't want the kids to know anything, because if we can't work this out, then they will be having all these expectations of things working out, and then it'll be more devastating than when we got divorced to begin with, right? And so the thing was, we dated in secret. So the weekends that he had the kids, one of those days, he would let his mom babysit, and then he and I would go out. And then during the week, sometimes I would get a sitter, and then he and I would go out. And we were doing that, like we were meeting up and having lunch and stuff when the kids were in school. We were doing all of that. And he kept wanting to get remarried. And I told him, I said, well, I can't, we date really well. We did really well when we first got married, but something happens along the way that's not so great. And so we need to work through this stuff, and then we'll talk about getting married again. And so he was asking a lot, and it was like, I can't do it to the kids a second time. And so until we're in the right place, we can't. But when he passed, we were so close to getting remarried. And so I bargained with God all the way to the hospital, because I got a phone call that he had his second heart attack. And all the way to the hospital, I bargained with God. Okay, God, I promise, if you'll let him live, now forgive me if I cry, because I might. I said, if you'll let him live, I promise I'll get off the fence. We will dive in. We'll get remarried. We'll be a family. We'll do all this stuff together. I promise. But that didn't happen. And so I spent a lot of time feeling this major guilt, almost as if I was responsible in some way. And I felt like, because we were so close to getting remarried, that I just didn't I don't know. I felt like I was cheating if I went out. I felt all these things. But the interesting thing is when we went to the funeral home to with the family to get the casket and everything, they included me. And so when the funeral director or whatever he's called, he starts, they're picking out what they're going to say in the newspaper um, for the eulogy, the whatever hell you call it. Um, anyway, he looked at me and he said, "So how do I list you?" And I said, "Well, I'm actually the ex-wife." He said, I know who you are." He said, "But what do we do?" And so somebody said, "Maybe just call her a special friend." I said, "No." I said, "That sounds like he's gay." I said, "So just put former wife, whatever works. It doesn't matter." And so that's what they did. And so it was very interesting, right? So I understand, and I'm not saying that was your experience, Lynn, at all, but it was like there was this bond between us. So we dated amazingly well. When we first got married, it was amazing, but neither one of us had this really good gift of communication, which is one of the reasons why I love that we have some communication experts, some relationship experts in the group that are talk about these things, right? And just as a quick reminder, it is Thursday, the 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Lois is going to be here and she's talking about magnetic relationships. Good morning, Wendy. Joining for church. Glad to have you. But she's going to be talking about becoming the magnet for the relationship that you want, right? And so I want that information. And I've talked to Wendy McDowell because she talks about the communication part. And I even told her, I said, if I get in another relationship, I think I want to work with her in the very beginning of the relationship so that I can have that communication that I did not have before. And because I think if we had been able to communicate, and to be perfectly honest, if his mother had not been a big part of the whole thing, I think we would have been fine. But, we don't know. So anyway, I'm focusing on the rainbow, which is the gift that I had with him, the gift that I had of my children having such an amazing father. And unfortunately, he passed from his second heart attack at the age of 43. So he was gone way too soon. And so it's I love focusing on the beautiful things that I had with him, right? And so you're welcome, Lynn. So we can choose to see the beauty in everything that we have in our life. And we talk about this a lot, about having a gratitude journal and talking about the things that in our lives that we're grateful for, right? And we do the same thing when we're looking at the rainbow and not the rain. We're also looking at the bright side, the beautiful things, right? Whether it's, how you're doing your business, your relationships, just your life in general. You can see the things that are falling apart, or you can see the things that are going good, right? And whatever you focus on, good morning, Carmen, good morning. The things you focus on expand. So if you're focusing on the rain and how dreary it makes all the things, then you're going to get more of those things you feel, right? Like I shared about the motorcycle. When I decided to stop riding the motorcycle, it was like, okay, how can I get the feeling that I loved without the motorcycle? So sometimes you have to sit back and just kind of look, what feeling was it that I got from something that you were doing? And if you can get that feeling back, then it will expand even more, right? Here, your chief sunshine officer. Yes, I've got a friend that I remember one time she called me and she was telling me something, and I said, "Well, on the bright side," and I'm starting to tell her. She said, "Wait a minute." She said, "I don't want your Pollyanna sunshine glasses. I just want to vent for a minute." I said, "Okay, go ahead and vent, and then I'll tell you the bright side." She said, "Okay, deal." And so that's what we did. Because that's my natural tendency now. Was not years ago. Years ago, I could fall down that rabbit hole and I could bring you with me and we could just have a dinner party around it. But that's not me anymore. It's I'm always looking, what was the lesson? Where was the rainbow in all of that? And it makes me think, do you remember there was a like a cartoon one time years ago I saw, and it was this big pile of dung in the floor. I mean, it was a mountain of it. And there was this kid digging through it. And they said, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Well, this much crap, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere." And so that's the thing, is that if there's, even if it's just crap, 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 where's the pony? How can you find the gift in it? Like we talked about, right? When the life gives you lemons, make lemonade, make it really sweet, do whatever the heck you want to, but find the gift in all the things around you. And when you think back to times that really get you choked up and anxious, look at, am I focused on being the victim in that, or am I focused on being the victor? If I'm focused on being the victim, then how can I get the lesson out of it? And how can I pull something out that gives me rainbows? And let the bright side shine and just leave the clouds behind, right? We get to choose. And then our journal prompt. Think of a recent challenge. What's a challenge that you faced in your life recently? And I know Lynn has shared one. And thank you so much for sharing all of that, Lynn. But think, what is a recent challenge that you've had that maybe you've been struggling with, whether it's something that's going now or whether it's something that's happened in the past? Can you look and see, where's the hidden rainbow? Where's the pony and all that crap, right? And then what little spark of good can you focus on that turns the rain into something bright? So how can you choose anytime something comes up to focus on the rainbow? Because I'm telling you, life is so much sweeter when you do. And it's not that you never have anything go wrong or you never have crap happen, right? Because it's going through those things that grow us and we become this amazing human by all the things that we've been through in our lives. So just look at each one of those things as, whew, where's the rainbow in that? Find the pony. So what do you think? Are you ready to look for the hidden rainbow or the pony and all the crap? Hi, Trina. Notice I said your name right this time. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Trina and I had a really good podcast episode the other day, and it'll be published pretty soon. So you'll have to watch for that. And so, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And I just want to share real quick, Carmen, when we were on that call yesterday, because Carmen had was wanting to practice a little bit with getting a live where you bring somebody on, because I did that with her one day. And it was almost like, hey, Carissa, good to see you. The funny thing is, oh gosh, what is the name of your group? Why can I not think of it? Carmen, put the name of your group. And oh, well, the thing is that I got on a Zoom call to help her, and let's see, it's 1 a.m. Monday morning here in Australia. Oh my good, Carissa. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you're like me. I was awake at 1 a.m. this morning because I had coffee a little bit later than was good for me yesterday, and I could not go to sleep. I stayed up late, did some things, and then I could not go to sleep. But anyway, I was talking about getting on that call with Carmen, but beforehand, we're on the phone, and I asked her, she was going to go live, and I was going to get on the live, and she was going to invite me in so that she could practice this, right? And I said, so where are you? What group are you in? And she told me the name of the group, or she said something, and what is it? Join in, or just join in, or something like that. I don't remember what the name of it is. So Carmen, please put that in there. But I asked her, we were messaging, right? And I asked her for the group, and she said, I think it's just join in. She said, just join in, I'm live. And I thought, just join in. I don't know where to join in at. So then I asked her again, it's just join in. And so it made me think of, remember that old thing, who's on first? And so it was, and I didn't even realize it till later that I was doing that. So it was like, who's on first? No, who's on second? But if you're still here, Carmen, put the name of your group, because I may have it wrong, but if you get the chance, check out her group. All right, so I want to make sure I remember to tell you all again that this Thursday, the 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern, is Lois. She'll be here live in the group. About magnetic relationships, being the magnet for a relationship you want, or actually becoming the magnet for the relationship you're in. I don't understand it completely, what she's going to be talking to us about. I just know it has the mindset about who you are and who you're looking for. And because we've talked many times about how to be the magnet for the things that you want in your life, and some of the things are what we're talking about this morning. It's being able to recognize the rainbow instead of seeing all the rain. I love the rain. It's a weird thing, but I love putting on my rain boots and rain jacket and carrying an umbrella. I feel that my hair is better in the rain, and something about the rain and breathing better. I know I feel different when it's raining. Beautiful, beautiful. But a lot of people, and when I'm talking about the rain or the rainbow, it's like the rain can be something that holds people back from doing the things that they want to do. And the rainbow is a beautiful thing that comes from the rain. And so it's looking at the good things that are produced from something, rather than just looking at the thing that might be holding you back. Now, and that was just the easiest way for me to explain it this morning, was the rain or the rainbow. So I love that you love the rain, but in loving the rain, that's okay. That's wonderful. But is there something else in your life that maybe you're focusing on the thing that you don't know about it, right? Or there's something beautiful there, but you notice something else. And it's like some of the times I'm talking about, if you got two people in a car going down the road, they're in the passengers, they're in the back seat, and they're both looking at the same side of the road. One of them will see the beautiful flowers, and the other one will see the dilapidated house or the dead squirrel on the side of the road. It's like two people have a different lens of the world, right? One is viewing what's wrong, and one's viewing what's beautiful. And that's what I mean by the rain or the rainbow. So it's amazing when we look at the things that are going on in our lives, and then we can look at them in a different way. So our journal prompt, think of a recent challenge. Where's the hidden rainbow? Or like I shared the old cartoon that I saw many years ago. And so this may be totally impolitically correct. I have no idea anymore. But it was a cartoon of this huge pile of dung in the floor, and there was a kid digging through it. And somebody said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, this much crap, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere." So what I'm saying is, no matter what crap or thing is going on in your life, no matter what you call it, where's the rainbow? Where's the pony in whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, right? Because we can focus on the gift, or we can focus on the thing that's holding us back. We get to choose. So remember, with our affirmation, put that on your sticky note, your index card, the screensaver on your phone. Put it somewhere that you're going to see it today, and remind yourself about the powerful of I am all about the rainbows, right? And then your journal prompt, you're going to put the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt in your notebook or your journal. And then you're going to have some time in silence to just quiet the chatter, focus on your breath, and tune in to your inner guidance, your God voice, your intuition, your subconscious mind. And then when you think about this recent challenge, where's the hidden rainbow? And just let everything flow out of you, right? And then after that, it's like, what little spark of good can you focus on that turns any rain or any crap, any challenge, any obstacle into something bright? What little spark? And then just brain dump everything you can think of. Everything that comes up. Don't judge it. Don't analyze it. Just write it down. It's just for you. And the thing that I love is when you can get silent enough and tune into your inner guidance, man, the ideas, the things that will flow. And then not only when you're doing the journaling, as you're going through your day, the rest of the day, if you do that this morning, there'll be things that you'll be just walking along, or you might be singing, you might be dancing, whatever you're doing. And all of a sudden, something's going to pop in your mind. Ooh, there's an idea. And it is so amazing how all of this works to create this nuance of life, this beautiful life that we want, especially when we can recognize that pile of crap that's right there, that's you're facing, there's a pony in there somewhere. There's a rainbow in the middle of the biggest rainstorm there is, right? Because when you think about it, when it's raining cats and dogs and things are just like, oh, and if it's been raining for days and then suddenly the sun comes out and then it's still raining, but there you go and there's a rainbow that is just magnificent. A double rainbow, a triple rainbow. I mean, what can you create in your life if you focus on the pony, you focus on the rainbow, right? All right. So tomorrow I will see you guys at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have an amazing chat. I don't even know what it's about yet, to be honest with you. That's not how I work. I've been in Stacy's world long enough to not playing way too much. I let intuition guide me in things that maybe happen the rest of today. And a lot of times it comes from something that I've heard in the morning or the book that I'm reading. Wherever it comes from, it's like, and then it's like, oh, this is exactly what needs to happen today. And so I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Wendy. So tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, be here and we'll have our conversation. And maybe I haven't really figured, I've got to check on my timing and everything, but we may end up doing it live on Zoom together. We will see how that goes. Like I said, I got to check my schedule to make sure that I have enough time to allot for that. But I so look forward to seeing you there. And as Wendy is so eloquent with giving us our final gracious statement, enjoy the colors of your rainbow today, and I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Mwah.